I got a tier list. Marathon comes out tomorrow, so people are gonna be wondering what to play for the next 10 days while I'm grinding Marathon. I already know it. So we're 2 days into the patch. I had 3 full days on PTS, so I probably played like 20 to 30 games then, and then I played like 7 games yesterday and like 5 or 6 games tonight. So let's do this. Achilles, I think, is the best god in the game as a tank, not as a damage dealer. I think he's a fine jungler, probably A tier, but as a support or solo, he's the tankiest god in the game. He's the one true you won't kill him tank still with his 2. And if you choose to go berserkers or something, or just build regular tank items, he's very, very, very hard to kill in a traditional like 5v5 normal team fight. He's probably the best front line to have on your team. Agni, I think Agni is weak, maybe even C tier, because so S tier is gonna be top picks, top bans. A tier is always good, always a good pick. B tier, pretty mid, like lower mid tier, average would be the way I describe it. Agni might be C tier. Aspect Agni, which comes out on Monday, is gonna be A tier. It farms, it dumpsters regular imp builds. It's really good early game. You can actually just run at anybody in the early game and just beat their ass. It's crazy. So non-aspect will be C, aspect will be A, 100%. I think Aladdin is pretty solid as long as you get enough cooldown online. Now that tanks aren't as crazy and mage items have more early damage, not a lot, but more. I like Aladdin in A tier. I think Amma's pretty weak. I wouldn't even say she's mid. I don't think she's bad to have on your team, but she's basically an objective shredder. And if she's behind, she's completely worthless. On her, I think, is the best hunter right now. Aspect, crit, hunter. Aspect, crit, on her. Hunter build. Wins every 1v1. It'll beat every tank. It'll beat every other ADC. It'll beat every jungler. It beats everything. Anubis, I think, is fairly average. I don't think Anubis is bad, but you aren't going lifesteal Anubis. You're just playing Anubis like a normal mage. Afro is still very good. Support, wouldn't play her anywhere else. Ares, I think Ares is probably the best just regular support every game, as long as you aren't getting, counterpicked. You're not top picking. You can get counterpicked, but it's not a true counterpick. It's more of just stuff that'll make your ult and stuff less useful. Your 1 and your 2, if you run aspects, still insanely strong. I know today I got 100 to 0'd by an Ares that was full tank support. It just one combo of abilities killed me. I know on the PTS I played a couple Ares games, felt great. He's just still very strong. Artemis, I think, is a little overrated. She just dies really fast and does not have the escape mechanics to be super consistent. I'd say she's an average hunter because I do think crit hunters are still very strong. I've seen Athena doing really well in this meta. It's normal shit. You have a taunt and people don't build beads, and people don't build AoE beads, and people's beads are on longer cooldown, so Athena ends up having some good value. Awilix, a little overrated as well. I think a lot of people put Awilix in A tier. She's hard countered by cripple right now. I know when I played her earlier, if I was on Suku and crippled, I could not get off Suku. Don't know if it's a bug, don't know if it's the way it's meant to be. Like you can't dismount, you can't leap, you just can't dismount the Suku. So we'll see if that changes. For right now, she's definitely staying B. Bacchus, I like, really aggressive support, easy go-to. Baron, I'd say, is weak as fuck because he doesn't have a position. He's supposed to have that support aspect, but we don't have it yet. Bologna, I'd say, is mid. Auto attack, solo, is fine. Jungle, I don't know if I'd forced it in there. You could probably get away with it. Kabrakan, similar boat with Bologna, except for if you're running Kabrakan jungle, I don't know if one-shot build will work, and I don't know how hybrid will feel. Have to do more testing. Support and solo, I think he's good as a tank. Cern goes crazy. Not gonna put him too high because he doesn't have CC immunity, but the auto attack crit build goes fucking nuts on Cern. It goes nuts on every ADC. Chalk is very good. I like Chalk solo. I think he's one of those other gods that's just still impossible to kill. Him and Achilles are right up there with just being so fucking hard to kill. Cupid got some nerfs. He's still all right. AoE cripples big. Aspect still strong. Danza, I think, is a gimmick god. I don't think he's terrible, but I wouldn't say he's average. I think his aspect is not good at all. And I think in terms of ADC gameplay, you're spam ganking at Danza all day long because you just block his ult to get away. Fenrir, seen him doing better today, seen him doing better yesterday, saw him do decent on the PTS. More of a support god. I think warrior supports, and he's an assassin, but like tanky strength supports are very, very good right now. Geb, low tier, because you're not going to win lane and you're going to have a rough time. If you can win lane, gods like Geb and Kepri are good. If you can't, I think they're bad. Hades, very situational. You need to counter the team in some way or have some advantage. Hecate, solid mage, but she's still just a regular mage, B tier. Hercules is seeing, I think Herc jungle is still cracked. Maybe top 3 to 4 junglers still easily. Solo, I wouldn't force it. Support also probably wouldn't force it. You're not trolling in those roles. Jungle's just way better. Hunbat's a sleeper. No aspect. Do not go aspect Hunbats in the jungle. Just regular Hunbat's jungle. His power spike is really, really strong off of like 4 items, and the team fight ultimate is big. I do still think assassins are weaker because they scale into the late game really rough if you don't have a good front line around you. But if you have that, Hunbat's just supplements that. It's a really good dive god, has good frontline aspect, really, you know, supplements other front lines diving in. Izanami, mid tier, super easy to gank, but a lot better because her ultimate is very strong. I haven't seen anyone play Jingwei. I think we're in a crit ADC meta. Jingwei is usually really good in crit ADC metas. We'll see if that changes. I think I had one Jingwei on my team today. Late game, she did do really well. Early game, rough. She's still a very safe hunter. I don't think she's a bad pick ever. Just, you know, a solid average pick you play almost every game. Khepri, I think is mid. You have to win lane. If you don't win lane, God's worthless. I did play against a really good Khepri yesterday. He dumpstered lane. He had the knockback item, and he was basically just peeling me. Like he would lock me down with this one, knock me away. I didn't get to play the game for 4 seconds. It was kind of crazy. I was playing Kali at the time. Kukulkan, I think Kukulkan's one of the best mids. Power spikes early for a mid. If you go Thoth, Necro, and the new item, your one hits for like 700 or something, and then the new item's doing 200 to 300 damage. So you can burst really, really hard early with Kukulkan. His 3 is just still bad. That's just for clearing. It doesn't matter. And you also build a poly on top of it. So you get a lot of just in-hand spam out of your one. Loki, still an assassin. I think Loki struggles the most. You're going to farm when people aren't grouping. But if you're in a bracket where people are grouping, Loki is very, very difficult to play. I like Medusa a lot. She's still not safe, but crit Medusa crushes. The combo is Guru still good? No. SmiteSource.com. It'll be updated as soon as the website, we update for this patch, which should be like tomorrow. Medusa with the crit build, you can pop your one, you can dash on somebody, pop your Lernian bow while you're holding left click for your one, and they die instantly. Your Lernian bow will do 800 damage to a squishy. Your auto attacks will do well over 1500 damage with the crit build. So that is an aspect. Laning phase can go either way depending on your matchups. Late game, you just have to be aggressive or have a team comp that is aggressive. That's why I wouldn't put her any higher. I think Merlin's still shit. We're trying to force this like Bluestone, Gem of ISO Merlin where it works when you play against bad players or you shitstorm somebody in lane. But in reality, if you're going against almost any other god at an even level, any warrior, and you're also running Merlin in the soul lane, I feel like when you're doing that, which is just throwing for your team because you have no front line. I think any warrior on the same level, assassin, hunter, just wins out and is way more valuable than Merlin. Mordred, I've not seen any Mordred today. I think people are really like under this tanks can't be played shit. They can fully be played, and people are hard trolling when they act like they can't. Half the games you play in, even at like 5k SR, people aren't building pen. Tanks are still very good. I'll put Mordred in B, but I'm kind of leaning towards A, especially if his non-aspect where he's gaining prots is as valuable as people were trying to say it was. Baron's ass, bro. Mulan, I think, is terrible. Super gimmick god that basically ults and does nothing else. Neith, I don't know if I'd ban Neith, but I think Neith is the best mid lane in the game every single game. Her downside is she's not magic damage. She's physical damage. So if you run that and you don't have magic somewhere else, you're kind of trolling. So you need like an Aladdin jungle or something for this to be truly S tier. If you're not looking at team comp, she's S tier. If you're looking at team comp, she might be borderline, maybe like an A plus, somewhere in between. Nem, I think, is very weak. Slows aren't that strong, at least not like direct only slows in your kit. Auto attack build, you could probably hard carry with the crit build, but that's not going to be consistent. I don't like Nemesis. I think Nemesis aspect is trash. It's completely countered by anti-heal. Don't like it. Nuwa, I think Nuwa is also dog. Nuwa ult does 0 damage. Nuwa 2-3 combo does 0 damage. She's not safe at all. She has really bad rotations. You can play her and you're not like a bot troll, but all 4 of these gods, you're not putting your team in a good position. You're not picking the best gods possible. Odin, situational. You want to play it if they have a lot of healing or they have no way out of your ult and you're going to force them into shells. Usually that becomes very valuable if you have someone that burns beads, so they have to choose between shell and beads, and then one of you is going to be getting kills. Pele, mid assassin. She can still overkill and run like tanky hybrid builds or full damage builds. Probably does better the lower the bracket you are. Wouldn't put a lot of time into her. Poseidon aspect, I think, goes crazy. I think it's slept on right now. I think if you're running that in auto attack build with what they've done with Nimble and the other items, it actually goes fucking crazy. Poseidon's downside is being dove. If you're able to position well, you melt. You can kill tanks. You can shred most people fairly easily. Bari still cracked. Bari might be my other S tier. She was nerfed a little bit and items lost some stats. So I'll leave her at A for now till I see her more. Raw, situational. You can be counterpicked and just run at way too easily. Rama, I think, is very good and consistent out of the ADC role. Sobek, I think, is probably the second best support to Ares. The easier to play support, though. So depending on what style, level of player you are, you choose between those two. Soul, I think, is very bad. Just doesn't have any builds or anything that really cooks for her ever since they... Really, you'd think with crit being meta, she might be better. I haven't seen anyone run crit on her. Maybe I'm wrong. Crit cooks on her and she's B tier. I'm going to leave her a D tier now. I don't think you should be playing her. Susano, I think, is fine, but I think he leans more towards the comp that you're playing against. Like, if you run into an Ares of Susano, you're probably not going to have fun. Sobek makes it really hard to play the game. You end up having to go Magi's and really having to be patient. I don't think he's bad. I think you just pay attention to the team comp to get away with him. Where like Pele, you can run into most comps, just run at somebody. Almost all of these gods you could just pick regardless of comp. Most of these gods are very comp dependent, or if you just can't play anything else. I have not seen a single Thanatos game since the change. Aspect Thanatos, definitely not as good because there are 2 items that counter HP builds. Regular Thanatos was never bad. I almost feel like Thanatos is probably really, really good right now with the amount of people that are pretending tanks aren't good. I'm going to put him in B. I'm actually going to try to play him a bit when I'm done with Marathon. I bet you could spam Thanatos every single game and cook. Morrigan is a skill diff god. If you're a very good Morrigan, A tier. If you're anyone else, probably C tier. Thor, always consistently good out of the jungle. Ul, I saw a crit build out of Tito the other day. It did all right. I think Ul is still bad because you can just run an auto attack crit hunter. So maybe if you have some other auto attack god, your jungler is playing a hunter with ADC build, or you have some other way to burn objectives, you're good to pick Ul. I don't know if I'd put it in every comp at all. Vulcan, I think Vulcan's the best late game mage in the game. And now with the Signet, you have a slightly better mid game. Very unsafe god. Any front line just dives at you, you're gonna have a bad time. Late game, you hit really hard, you kill tanks, you kill everybody. Yamoja, skill diff god as well. If you're good at Yamoja, still a god tier support. Harder to play than Sobek, harder to play than Ares. Just as much impact though, or more impact maybe if you're playing it correctly. Ymir, I'll put Ymir in the mid tier for now. I don't think Ymir is good, but I do think lane pressure right now for ADCs is huge, and Ymir will get you that. And then Zeus, I think, is a situational god where you have to be able to make sure you either have a team protecting you, meaning your team is going to do counter dive where they just sit with you and wait for the other team to dive, or you're free casting, which should never happen to Zeus. Everyone should be running at you. You're better in solo than support? I don't think so. I think Ymir coming out of solo lane is pretty worthless. I feel like Ymir doesn't stomp lane against a lot of the solo laners that are good. And that's what I think Ymir does, is he wins early game lane and then falls off. Thor aspect, if you're running him solo or support. Jungle, it's up to you. I've run tank Thor out of the jungle. I've seen tank Thor today out of the jungle. Did good with aspect. I like to go full damage. Brother, did you rate? It says you rated me with 1 person. So that's accurate, and you're spamming raid in here. That's weird. If it's wrong, thank you. But I've never seen that be wrong. So if you're your only viewer and you're rating for attention, just don't do that. Bro, the raid command's still a thing. Oh, he's only been following for 30 minutes. Do people think that works for like attention? Like someone's gonna go watch your stream because you said raid? It's gonna get you the opposite, bro. It's gonna end up getting you negative attention. It's gonna be a bad thing in the long run. Don't be that guy. Agni C tier because mages are bad. Agni full build late game, you still have to hit like 3 bombs and your 2 to kill somebody. Where Vulcan late game can 3-1 and 100-0 someone that doesn't have defense. Now, like I said, when the aspect comes out for Agni, go Bluestone, go Dagger of Frenzy, go Terrifying, go Exy, and then go Crusher, Heartseeker, and your last item's up to you. Honestly, you could probably go Signet last item. You chunk. You fucking chunk. It's crazy. You hit harder than any Agni mage build will hit. Agni's aspect makes it so your ult does less damage, but every time you auto a god, they get a debuff up to 5 stacks. And when you 2 or ult them with the stacks, it eats them and does a like super chunk of damage. I have a clip. Let's see if I can find it. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Wait for Zeus, wait for Zeus, wait for Zeus. No, this is a good clip. 3, 2, 1, go! Ah! Yeah, good clip though, good clip though. Hold on. That wasn't the one I was looking for. I think it's this one. Yeah, watch this.
Bro, what?
Yo, they're all dead. They're dead.
Body blocks. Body blocks.
Oh my God, so if you notice, the autos are hitting really hard. They're putting up a dot, and then whenever I ulted them, it ate them. See, like, see if we can fucking show this shit.
What?
Yeah, like he only has one debuff stack on him, and I got an extra 114 damage. I'm also only 2 items in, and I was going with troll builds. I have oboe here. It's like I'm not even a real build. All right, there's a tier list. Invalid tier list. What did it say? Oh, wait, do I have to have something in F tier? I was thinking Nuwa. It was between Nuwa and Baron. I think Baron is worthless. I actually don't think there's anywhere you play Baron and you're like, yo, this god is fucking awesome. When he gets his aspect that makes his 2 just spam heal, if that's what they do with it, I'd say Baron support's good. I'd rather have a shitter play Nuwa mid in my game than Baron in any other role, to be honest. Wait, where the fuck is Serb? Where's Serb? Well, Kali I'd put in S tier. Serb I'd probably put in B tier. Maybe 8. Did I put him in A tier? Nah, A tier would work. I just think he's super situational. That's a lie because I still like frontline. Like I really like frontline. So I'd say between A and B. You could always play Serb. He'll have better matchups versus some things. Like if you play Serb into a comp that's gonna completely interrupt your 2 on cooldown, then you're definitely not going aspect, and then you're probably just playing like a support rather than a soul laner. The first Bologna jungle build has Kins. I could throw up a Bologna jungle build.